Okay, hello everyone and welcome to another FxEdge Power Hour. Let me make sure that you guys have sound. Testing, testing. Great. All right, so welcome to another FxEdge Power Hour. Today is February 21st, 2013. I'm Marcello Ducille, and today we're going to do a daily market analysis and a daily strategy evaluation, which is what I've done for the last X amount of years now as a professional trader. And then we're going to have a brief questions and answer session. Now this session is so that you guys can see what the strategies are doing, how we make money, and obviously so that you can develop a trader's acumen over time and understand that it is possible to make money in this market, et cetera, et cetera. It also helps me. I don't do this just for you. You offer me accountability, and because of that, I'm able to be here every day at 5 p.m. and I need to be here every day at 5 p.m. so I can do my market evaluation properly. It helps me in my overall trading, makes me a much better trader to have to be accountable to you. So let's go ahead and take a look at the charts and see where we are here. So I'm going to start with our STP series. That's our marquee series here. Wrong one, wrong chart. All right, so I'm going to start with the STP series. Now STP last year did very, very well. We ended up finishing the year, I believe, from 120,000 was where we really started and moved all the way up to 350,000. It's 344,000. I think we still have, people have access to take a look at that account. We started a new account on the STP. Right now it's currently down, but that's just the way that it works, and we're going to see certainly other opportunities as the market continues to unfold. Certainly we're going to have some big runaway trades, and we're looking forward to that. So let's talk about where we are right now. We get to the STP euro dollar. We're going to start there. You can see here that on the 1 hour, it looks like we have kind of a double bottom forming, but never mind that. Let's talk about where the market is right now for this at this point, and I'll talk about that double bottom as well. So here what we have, guys, is that we have this beautiful trend line that held for a very long time, and that's been about the last 4 or 5 months. Okay, there we go. Actually, about 8 months. Starting from July up until just now, we had this beautiful trend line. You can see this blue line underneath. I've got a lot on this chart, but you can see that blue line, and it extends upward, and that was our area of support. And so we had a buy bias until we saw the break of this this trend line here. And as you can see here, this was also our apex. So as we came out of the apex, price moved up. It bounced up and then it fell. So the apex did hold to be true. And you can see here that we have actually dropped. We've dropped to the 50% area. And now, because we have had a close below that trend line, we also have had another day of close, we have to consider that we're now in a sell trend. So for the time being, on the euro dollar, we're going to be looking for a sell. And our next area of real support will be at right about 130.65. So 1.3065 is our next area of support that we can look for. Actually, yeah, 1.3065, which is where we have our, we've got a trend line. We have the 200 MA as well there that will provide support there. And we also have a 61.8 fib of the previous move. Not to mention horizontal support resistance really at that 30.50 area. So that's what we have to look forward to. We definitely have a downtrend. Don't be surprised if price does move up here. You can see this upper trend line that I have. So watch for this. This is what I would say to watch for. Maybe for a retracement of price. Let me get rid of this. It's in my way. Maybe for a retracement of price to the 32.50 area, perhaps in that vicinity. In fact, I would say about 32, yeah, about 32.40, 32.50. And then I'd be looking to see price continue to move beyond this 50% area. I say that because we have this big, trend line that has held for some time, and it was clearly the apex, and so we could see a retouch at that point. And also, for another reason, as we go down to the 1 hour, we can see that we formed kind of a double bottom here, right at this 50% area, and so we may see a test up until this trend line that I just showed you earlier, up in this area, and then potentially push down in the market because we've already broken that area. We will see a retest. It's it's part of the game. We have to see a retracement, and the reality of the situation is that we're also going to be hitting up on the 50 EMA on that 1 hour as well. So I'll be looking for some action there. I'll be looking for some action really at 132.50, which was our area of support previously, will now become our area of resistance. So that's the euro dollar on the daily, and as you can see, we don't have a trade because we already have a change from green to red. So we'll be waiting for a turn in the market at some point so that we can get back in to the euro dollar trade, and we'll just wait. That's fine. That's fine with us. Waiting is not a problem for us. All right. So the dollar Swiss. Turning our attention to the dollar Swiss here, we had basically just a beautiful reversal candle here, and price moved up, broke through this trend line on the way down here, and then actually is now sitting right at the 200 MA, really bouncing off the 93.50 area that we already have marked here. All right, so we basically went up to 93.31. We have an area of support and resistance at 93.46 already. And so the next area for us to look to is 93.80. Now it's going to be interesting because this is a very strong area of resistance here that we're at. This 200 MA has held for quite some time. We're obviously testing it here. We could see a retest and get back up to that 93.80 area, and it will be interesting. It's a point of decision, so the market will have to decide if it's going to continue to move up or if it's going to really bounce off that area. But either way, we should see a test of the highs here, and then the price will dictate what it wants to do from there. So the dollar Swiss is currently flat because we do have a change from red to green, and so we're currently flat as far as that's concerned as well. All right, so the pound dollar. Pound dollar was a great trade. You can see here that we had a change from green to red, gave us a sell. We got into a sell, hit the first take profit, got into a sell again here, green to red. Unfortunately, we hit our first break-even point and got out of this trade, unfortunately, because it's a beautiful trade to the downside. It would have been good for many, many pips. Maximum favorable excursion about 400 pips, and in the market about 300. So we have a reversal candle that's formed on the pound dollar. We may see a retest of some of these areas, maybe getting back to that 54.30 area that we're looking at. That's quite a distance away for the time being, but that's definitely what it's showing us now. We do have a change from red to green here. But obviously, we've had so much sell pressure that the strategy, the mechanism, the automation is going to ignore that. So you will not see a trade on the pound dollar for that reason. We could see a move up. We could see a bounce up here on this pound dollar. This is actually the strongest signal we've had on the pound dollar for a reversal in quite some time. But the overall direction of this pound dollar for the time being is a sell. Okay, short term we may see a move up, but we certainly have a sell. We're below the trend lines. We're below the 250, and prices just continue to move in that direction. And until we see otherwise, we've got to believe that that's where price wants to go. All right. So what we're looking for once again on this pound dollar actually is a change from green to red again, which will give us another sell opportunity, which would be in the direction of the overall trend. All right, so the pound yen. The pound yen is now sitting. We're actually in a pound yen sell right now. We hit our first take profit. We're in our second position, and our second position is currently holding with 42 pips of profit. Now our stop loss is very, very close, only 42 pips away. It's not a lot for the pound yen. We're most likely going to see the pound yen retest the upper area here at 142, I'd say about 14300, and then if it wants to break through this 50 EMA, it's going to break through and head to the downside if it decides that it's going to do it. But it is at a point of decision here, and the probabilities are that it's going to move up, hit this stop loss at break even, and then continue to move down. So watch for that. There may be an opportunity there for you to take advantage of it. Let me go ahead and show you the areas of support that are going to be, or resistance that will be important here. Obviously, the lower side of this reversal candle here, which actually coincides with other highs, lows, and closes, which gives us, looks like, yeah, about 142.80, which is at the previous high here of this pound yen of this last day that we just had, this previous day. So watch out for that. And the pound yen is currently in the sell. We're currently at 41 pips. And so we'll have to wait and see what happens there. Okay, so the Aussie dollar continues to move down. We found an area of support here. So there's actually a couple of support areas that I can see here. We've got support area on the not necessarily on the euro dollar, not on the euro dollar, but we can see support on the pound dollar right here at the low, and we can also see, so the pound dollar and the Aussie dollar are showing us you know, that there is support there, and you can see that there is support here on the Aussie dollar at 1.0220 and 1.0220. We've got basically a double bottom here. The market may retest some of these highs. We're currently sitting at 1.0241. We may see it go up to 1.0288 or in that vicinity, and then potentially, based on the fact that we have been in a sell, we have to believe that price is going to show us a sell unless it gives us one more point. Basically, if price bounces off this and heads up, then we will be looking for a range on this Aussie dollar, and we'll most likely try to take a play off this 200 EMA here at the upper side. But we're definitely looking at a downside on the Aussie dollar, and so we may see a retest of that 1.0288 area and then a drop there. As far as the trade is concerned, we're going to look for a change from green to red. We don't have that yet, so we're set flat in the market on the Aussie dollar. All right, so our euro yen, which did extremely well for us in 2012, is kind of lagging here, and it's because we had such a big move to the upside in the last few months of the year. We basically went from about $260,000, I think, to about $350,000 just in the last portion of the year in our journey there, finishing up that particular trading account. You know, it's pulling back, and so our euro yen, which has done so well for us, and we do have plenty of potential for, I believe, still has pulled back for us a little bit here. Is definitely responsible for a lot of that movement that we saw at the end in our equity curves. So looking at this, we've got to change from green to red, and once again, it's going to give us a sell opportunity. I do think that there's plenty of room. The good thing about this is that our stop loss is on the other side, if you will. It's really right above this trend line, which has been a very strong area of support in the past. So based upon that, we can expect it to be a very strong area of resistance, at least in theory. And so, you know, that we've got our trend line, we've got our stop loss placed on the other side of that, which makes us feel a little bit safer. It's like actually right there. And so if we do see a move up against that, we can see maybe a retest of those higher areas, and then a push down to hit our take profit on this euro yen. Obviously, we still have a sell bias. We passed through the apex. It broke through the lower side of that apex that we had drawn here, and we close below it, so that means that we have a sell bias for the time being. Okay, so it's got definitely a sell bias here, and definitely a good area of support to look at, to begin to become vigilant at, is 119, that 119.50 area where the 50 MA is and the previous high was of a previous move before the consolidation. Okay, so that's the euro yen. We're currently in a euro yen trade. It's currently basically down its spread, and we're going to wait and see what the market does from here. All right, so euro dollar, looking at the sell trade that we had yesterday on the IBL. It was a beautiful trade. So we had a nice 44 pip trade here. You can see that price has dropped about 216 pips, and we're currently up in the market 192 pips with a 12-bar trailing stop. So we're still in this trade, and we're going to hold on to it for the time being. And let's see here. Let's take a look at the IBL Rev. Of course, our IBL Rev is currently flat. We haven't had a 3-bar IBL for us to partake in a trade here on the IBL Rev, so it is currently flat in the market, which is odd because it usually gets in on these big moves very consistently. All right, so that's that. Let's turn our attention to the FxEdge Quattro. FxEdge Quattro is doing exceptionally well. It's just had a very, very nice run, guys. Here we had this trend line which held, but once we had a break of that trend line, we did very good numbers. So here we have a change from green to red, okay, on this Quattro, and basically the Quattro gives us an entry of 30 pips of risk. Entries at 133.78, and price drops 230 pips. It's currently up in the market at 205 pips, and so you know, we're doing very well. We have a 7-to-1 ratio here as far as our risk to reward. Basically, if you use 90% trend percent and use a 2.5% position here, you'd be up about 14%, 14-15% on that FxEdge Quattro trade by itself with a 2.5% position. So this is a very good run for the FxEdge Quattro. The good thing about it is that we have a 12-bar trailing stop, so it's going to stay in this trade here. If it does reapproach this trend line, where is this trend line at? This trend line is actually at 132. It's a little high. So it's at 132.87, 132.80. So if we may get a retest in that vicinity, as we thought, we expect to get back to 132.50. So, you know, we may see a retest and a continuation to the downside, and so that stop loss is very, very safe for the time being because we have a 12-bar trailing stop. All right, so that ties up our IBO, our IBO Rev, and our FxEdge Quattro. Let's take a look at our Triple Threat 3. We didn't have a trade on the Triple Threat 3. Currently flat in the market on that, and so we'll have to wait for another opportunity on that. And then let's take a look at our ATR Sniper. All right, so the ATR Sniper is back up. Basically, we picked up, we're basically up a couple of percent here on this trade, currently up about 5% total. We're up about 2% on this particular trade. We have it set right now to 50-50. I think somebody asked that question. We always set our stops here, or not our stops, but our configuration as far as, you know, our trend percent to our fixed position. We always set it to 50-50 because most people, they need to see something coming in. But to be honest with you, an advanced technique, or the way to make the most money, is to simply set your risk to 90% trend percent, and in this particular occasion, on this particular trade, you stood to make a lot more money. So basically, we got into our sell here, guys. Okay, you can see this beautiful formation here. This is just basically a sell bar that gives us a lot of, gives us our trigger for the ATR Sniper. It was about 71 pips. We had about 30 or 40 pips of risk here, and then you can see that price dropped very nicely. Maximum favorable excursion of 105 pips so far, and we're using a 12-bar trailing stop here as well. So our stop is really right above this area, as you can see. We're looking for a drop there. So we have about a 1.5%, almost 2% in profit that's open, and we've locked in profit as well. So we've locked in about half of that profit. So we'd walk away with about a 1% profit if the market did retrace and go and head to the upside. And that's pretty much it as far as our our trades are concerned. Let's see. I think I just answered a couple of those questions. Dick, thank you very much. All right, guys, so here's what's going to happen. Actually, I'm coming out with something that's going to be of great benefit to everyone. Everyone, even, you know, from anyone who's a part of me, I've got something that I think you're going to really enjoy, and I've been working on for the last few weeks. And actually, it's an idea I've had for the last few months. And so it's finally coming to fruition, and I'm going to be presenting that to you in the next couple of weeks, maybe next week or so. But it's going to help your trading. It's going to help you substantially on multiple levels. The stuff that I'm giving you, it's a gift. It's some of it's completely free, and I think you're going to really enjoy it. Anyway, guys, have a good weekend. Have a good Friday. Have a good trading day there. We'll be back here on Monday through Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another edition of the FxEdge Power Hour. All the best. Bye-bye. Oh, yeah, Bond. That's definitely something that we've considered, and maybe we will consider that in the future. But we've got some other trades that we'd like to place on. I think that we find that there's a level of stability here as far as the trade copier is concerned. So, the idea of using ATR there is it's definitely there. We have another trade that we're more than likely to utilize and think that it would be a good way to capitalize on some of the market moves here. So we'll talk about it. I'll have a BW follow-up meeting probably at the end of the month. Okay, talk to you soon.